Hey, so I was just looking through a friend of mine's pictures on Facebook, and it got me thinking about the last school that I went to before SFA, which was Tarleton. And I've never mentioned it before, and I don't mention it to a lot of people now, but I had joined a sorority. And for me, it failed miserably, and I got out. And looking back now at the pictures of the current sisterhood, it really makes me regret how I acted. And um, I place blame on no one, not even myself. I mean, if anybody did anything wrong, it was me. But at the same time, I have to point out that back then I was undiagnosed bipolar, and I was very out of control emotionally, and like I was really irritable to a lot of people, because I was manic, and then if I wasn't manic, I was depressed, so I was sad and thought everybody hated me, and then that made my attitude bad as well, and really disengaged, because I had pushed a lot of people away with my attitude, and so it really didn't make for a very good experience on my part. But if anyone's to blame, it was my bipolar, and it was really hard. You know, if I could go back, I wish I would have been diagnosed before, long, long ago during childhood or whatever. Um, because I think had anybody in my family known what to look for, and had I been diagnosed back then, um, a lot of things in my life would probably be different right now. Like, I probably have a degree right now, um, and just a lot of things would be different. Um, and I think one of those things would probably be that, um, you know, I may still have graduated as a Phi Mu sister, um, but instead I'm no longer a part of that, and I regret that, because I see how awesome what they've grown into, and it looks really cool, and the girls look really good, and not to say that Tarleton was the right school for me, because I think SFA is the right school for me. I've always had a huge love of SFA because my mom went there. I've always loved the aesthetic of the campus, loved the people. I really think SFA is the right school for me, but I think a sorority like Phi Mu was also the right thing for me, but just not at the right time. I wasn't there at the right time. Like, if I was there now, I would be a lot more engaged, I'd be a lot more positive, I'd have a lot more friends because of my sisterhood, but I can't say that now. I do sometimes wish that there was a Phi Mu here, because I would do my best to rejoin and be active here, but unfortunately there's not. There's a Delta Zeta here, which is also at Tarleton, but I wasn't a Delta Zeta. And the sororities here are a lot different. Well, I wouldn't say a lot different, but some of them are very different from Tarleton's sorority Greek life. And I've thought about joining, rushing, and all that here, but I don't feel like I would have the same connection that I would have had I been at this place in my life back then. So I just wish Tarleton would have been SFA and Phi Mu would be at SFA, but I'd have the attitude and the emotions that I have now. That's what I wish. But looking back, I do want to be more involved at SFA. But, a lot of, right now, it's just a huge time problem, you know. Not that I'm doing a lot with my photography business, but it's always on my mind. And, because I do have some bridals coming up. I'm advertising right now. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm always worried about my business and whether or not it's going to succeed. And then I have to worry about staying on as a photographer at the newspaper / yearbook and doing well for them. So far, my editors like me. They like the work that I've done. It's just been a scheduling problem, which they're not upset about about me or towards me. They understand that I'm doing my best to capture these events and be there, but it's just a big time problem and location problem sometimes. And but what I do manage to shoot, they've liked. They haven't used in the newspaper, but I think I'm probably gonna see most of those photos in the yearbook, which is fine because people throw away newspapers. Or if you're like me, you just collect the student newspapers to use to spray paint stuff on top of. Um, that's pretty much, I pick up a paper every Monday and Thursday when they come out, and I glance over them, and then I use them for spray paint jobs. I just collect them like underneath my bed or, you know, on my couch or something, and then when I need to spray paint something, I grab one. I hate to admit that, but yeah, so, and then, but the yearbook, when people get those, they keep them for, like, life, and they display those, and my photos will be in them, and, you know, credited, and, or hopefully credited, I don't know, but, you know, my photos might not be in the weekly paper, which people dispose of quickly, but they're going to be in the yearbook, probably, and those last a lot longer. And they're actually looked at, like, people get yearbooks for pictures, you know? That's what a yearbook's all about, is the pictures, and I'll have a hand in that, which is cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, you know, but there's other stuff I want to be involved in. I just don't know really exactly what those things are. I don't necessarily want to write for the paper. And because I hate writing on time constraints. Like, I don't mind writing just to write, but on time constraints, it drives me nuts. So, yeah, that's all.